to the Salty Truth Podcast. I'm Lindsay K. Foreign, your luxury-loving, deal-closing, reinvention queen who has literally built a career off of saying the things that only other people think. Each week, I get real about ambition, relationships, money, motherhood, and what it truly means to be a powerhouse woman balancing big dreams and real life. I get the opportunity to sit down with individuals that are truly making transformations and redefining success, raising the bar and refusing to play small. So let's get cozy, grab yourself a glass of wine, martini, whatever that fabulous drink might be, hit subscribe, and baby, let's get salty. Hey Salties, Lynn's here, and welcome back to another episode of The Salty Truth. I am so excited for my guest that I have on today, Krista Martinez, nurse practitioner right here in Utah. Can't wait for you to hear all the good things that she has to deliver today about reinvention, creating herself, and busting ass in her 40s. Hi, Krista.
Hi, Lindsay.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you for being on.
I'm so glad you had me on.
Yeah.
I was more excited to see you. I would have just come over to hang out. I'm like, I don't need to be this, but this is so fun.
I know. When I got to see you, I was so excited because it's been a handful of years.
Several. I just really think it's been like 5 or 6, maybe even 7, but
yeah. No, I think so. So yeah,
just following each other on Facebook.
Exactly.
Isn't that how friendships go though?
Yeah, kind of, right? I mean, so you and I worked together.
We did. Yep.
For a period time.
Like maybe a year?
Yeah. I want to say it was about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was awesome and fun.
Yeah.
Our fun lunches.
I know, we had the best lunches.
We did.
In cute Heber.
Yes. So, and then after I left there, I went to nurse practitioner school and here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
How life changes.
Yeah.
But I'm just more excited to see you.
I know. It's fun to catch up.
It is, definitely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about it. So you decided when we were working together, you had your RN.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you were working like corporate life, the grind.
Yep. Branch director. I thought I was so fancy and cool, and it was the worst job ever. So, but I think that had to do with like kind of what we were talking about, just toxic work environments and, glass ceilings and hard toxic people. Yeah. So, I just decided, honestly, I was exhausted after COVID, just working too much, 24/7, 365 at that job. And so I was like, what am I going to do? Yeah. I've put all this time and energy into this medical career. So I went to NP school, not knowing if I would love it or hate it, or if I should just go work at Home Depot. Yeah. Or, turn the stop sign. Maybe that would be a good one. And I love it. Yeah. I love my job. This is exactly 100% what I was meant to do.
I love that.
Yeah. And that was scary because maybe it's not. Maybe I hate this. Maybe I don't even like being in the medical field. But being a nurse practitioner is such a blessing. Yeah. I just love it. I just am happy every day at work. I don't hate my job. I don't hate going to work. Yeah. So I'm glad I did it.
It's exciting. Yeah. Because there's nothing worse going to a job that you don't want to be at. And it affects so many areas of your life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It does. And it was just a lot of reinvention and figuring out, who I am and what I really want and what I'm willing to work for. Yeah. Because nurse practitioner school was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Really?
Yeah, harder than nursing school. I went to nursing school as a single mom, put myself through nursing school, met my now husband right after I graduated nursing school. And so I had through nurse practitioner school the help of, my family and my husband, and it was ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
So there were some days when I didn't know if I was going to make it, and maybe I'm going to quit, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't. And
I think that's good.
Yeah, I learned so many things during that time that really made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And the things that I allow and don't allow, and not being afraid to leave jobs if they don't go well, because I was at that place that we worked together for.
We worked together.
Who shall not be named, just in case.
Voldemort.
I know. I'm like, we're not going to slander anybody. But I was there for like 8 years. And I think mostly because I was terrified to find a different job.
Yeah.
What if I wasn't good at it? What if I hated that job more than I hate this one? What if that boss, and it wasn't my direct boss that I had an issue with, it was the boss's boss that was difficult. What if that's worse, And so I think I stayed stuck for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I made moves in my life and in my career, because now I feel like I don't do that anymore. If it's not working for me, if it's not serving me or my family, or it's not getting me to where I want myself to be, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm changing.
Yeah.
So, and that has been so cool to learn. And hard and scary. And, we were broke for a time because, I'm going to go to nurse practitioner school and I'm going to quit my job and,
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go back and change it for the world, even as hard as it was. So that's.
Yeah. I think it's amazing.
So, yeah. And that's kind of, I'm so glad for it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and sometimes in corporate jobs, from my own experience and how I just felt in general, there's a sense of manipulation to make somebody feel less sense of worth, or that they're not able to leave, or there's a manipulation to keep you to stay. And it's amazing what a toxic work environment can do in your trajectory if you let it.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm back into a little bit of a larger health group now. I don't mind saying where I am. I'm with Revere Health in Provo. Just opened up a new, the first truly outpatient-based wound clinic in Utah County.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So it's myself and then Dr. Jensen, a doctor that comes up once a week from Gunnison. And, Revere is a larger group, but I really think that it's the leadership because the administrator and then the director of the department that I'm in are amazing leaders.
Yeah.
And even though, it is corporate, it's so different. So different. And that's what it boils down to, is who's leading, who, and what their leadership style is.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I feel like, and tell me, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong or just kind of on my own hiatus here. I feel like in healthcare, you either get toxicity or really great environment.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to get in between.
There is no in between.
Yeah.
No in between. And a lot of that is driven by who's leading it.
Yeah.
Because if there's some places that the doctors are the toxic ones. Doctors can be really hard to work with. I mean, and then there is no middle ground there. Yeah. It's either the toxicity of, making sure you stay stuck and that you fit in your little peg. Yeah. And that's it. And you stay there and you don't speak up and no, we're not changing. And, there's no growth. And, or there's places like the department that I'm in now, which is just all about like, well, what do you want to do? This is your clinic. And I'm like, what do I want to do? Yeah. I don't, no one's ever asked me that before, Yeah. And so I'm glad I didn't allow myself to stay stuck. Yeah. to stay stuck. I think that would have been really easy to do.
Yeah.
Is to just be like, well, I've just been here, I have all like change is scary, but I think that the biggest thing it taught me is, I don't do things that make me miserable anymore.
Yeah.
I say no.
Yeah.
A lot. And I don't feel bad.
Yeah. And that's great.
And that took a long time to figure it out.
I know. It took me a long time too.
Yeah.
It's definitely a growth process.
Yes. And it feels good. And sometimes I say no, and then I giggle a little bit because I'm like, no.
I don't have to.
No, because I don't.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that we don't do hard things. That's not what I don't do things that make me miserable anymore means. It means that I don't do things that make me sick.
Yeah.
That keep me stuck, that affect my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means to me is I don't do things that make me miserable.
Yeah.
Is I don't, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'd love to help, but I just can't today.
Yeah. Well, I love it. And I think it's a good point because, one, let's talk about career here when you're in healthcare. Healthcare is hard. Yeah. And you go through the ringer.
Yep.
Especially, I was on the business side. You're on the nursing side, or clinical side, I should say. And when you decided to get your nursing degree and went into that arena, were you shocked with the craziness, or how did that look?
I was, and I'm sure other nurses will laugh because there's, about half and half. Like it's the same with the nurses. They're either really nice and really sweet, or they're the mean girls. Mm-hmm. And we say nurses eat their young. And they tried to eat me alive. That's for sure. And that was one of the things when I started my nursing careers that I decided that we were going to change that. We weren't going to eat our young anymore. I wasn't going to eat my young.
Yeah.
So it's nursing is its own thing, its own animal.
Yeah.
But it's wild.
Yeah. I love that. But that also probably flows into like your leadership now and being over the clinic that you are. Mm-hmm. Your experiences are driving, I'm assuming, a different experience for individuals that are working there.
I really hope so. I hope they would say that. I mean, because it's really stressful if we're honest, opening a clinic and figuring out what compliance issues are. And, I have no idea. I've never opened a clinic before. Yeah. I have no clue what I'm doing, but, just smile and keep going. But I would hope that my team felt like they were valued and that my leadership style reflects what I really feel inside. Mm-hmm. I want everyone on my team to feel like they play a part and they play a role and that they are valued, and that honestly, if they have a bigger dream in mind, that they're supported, that they're not felt like they're stuck. Great. For example, we just hired a medical assistant who wants to go to radiology school. Yeah. Maybe this year, maybe next year. Fantastic. We still hired her. Let's get you some experience. Let's get that on your resume. Let's get you going. And then let's write you a letter of recommendation. Yeah. And boost you up to the next thing. Yeah.
Which we're supposed to do, right?
I thought so.
You thought so. I mean, and you've experienced the other side of that.
Yeah. Of being told that, maybe I wasn't cut out for nurse practitioner school and that I should quit going to school by a leader at this particular job that I was at for way too long. And I'm glad I didn't listen. Yeah. And so I really do think it is about, taking our life experiences and not allowing it to change us for the worst, because I really look at that and I go, ew, no, you're either, an example or, of what you want to be or what you don't want to be. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't want to be like that. Yeah. That's not who I am. I want to celebrate everybody, Yeah. there's enough tiaras to go around. I don't, you don't have to steal mine. Let me help you find one, like,
Love it.
It's like someone else's success doesn't diminish mine.
Yeah.
And
No,
so I think so any of my staff, I hope, they're all, half of them are pre-med, brand new nurses straight out of school. Yeah. Cause I prefer new grads, and then I know they're going to leave me. Mm-hmm. And if I've done my job right as a leader, they will leave me to the next big thing, So, and I hope so,
because then that means that you're doing exactly what you need to be doing,
and that I'm hiring the right kind of people,
exactly.
Because the good ones don't stay. They move on, even though they're still good if they stay, because please stay, please don't leave me, because I don't want to train somebody else, but but so but being able to find my leadership style, because I think when we were working together, I didn't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I'd never been a leader before. It's been awesome. Yeah. To kind of hone that and be more confident in that,
mm-hmm. Yeah. In your skin, and understanding what type of leader you are, what you want to execute, and have the outcome that you want. Right. Essentially.
Yeah. And finding that balance between being too casual and too authoritarian, Yeah.
Yeah. It is a hard balance.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depending on personalities that you're working with and
what they need. And it's always a moving target.
Yeah. It's like raising
what do you need today?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. And I like that. Not like raising children, like raising a family, like bringing a family together. And I think that's what has made this job so amazing, is that's what my leaders are looking to build, is a family. Yeah. A work family where we all, and the culture is just, is so good. Yeah. So I didn't have to come in and try to change a culture. It was already there. I was like, this is great.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, this is the best job I've ever had. Yeah. I love the doctor that I work with, and I could gush for, the next hour about how much I love my job.
That's exciting. So, I love that. Especially when you go through a bad experience and you get to have a great one. It's amazing.
And just the culmination of everything that I've worked for over the last 10 years kind of finally coming to like fruition. And I look around and I go, this is exactly what I wanted. Oh, yay.
That's good. Yeah. Well, and you've had to deal with reinvention multiple times. Yeah. You were a young mom. Is that right?
Yeah. So I got married when I was 18 to someone who turned out to be very abusive. He was 12 years older than me, which looking back is kind of like not the best idea maybe for my young self at the time. Our marriage was just not a healthy one. I had my daughter when I was 19 and then divorced my ex-husband when I was 20. After a particularly scary, not so good night, I got on a plane. We were living here in Utah. We had moved from California, and my mom was in California at the time. And I literally got on a plane at 20 years old with my 10-month-old child, $5 in my back pocket, and what would fit in our suitcases. Wow. And left.
Good for you.
And showed up back in California with nothing, no education, no vehicle, nothing, to my mom's house, and was like, great, what now? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And and then over the course of the next several years, really had not a revolving door, I wouldn't say. I had several relationships after that were not healthy. Mm-hmm. And I just decided, and I don't know, at one point I just decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And I was going to try to make different choices in relationships. And so after I left Utah, we ended up back here in California. My mom moved back to Utah, left me in California, and I had a friend kind of do me dirty and said, I put all your stuff in a storage unit at your apartment, and don't come back. And so I lost everything I had again, and had to come back to Utah and reinvent myself one more time. So that was about the time I decided to go back to nursing school and to go back to school and get my nursing degree.
Yeah.
And so just kind of the choices that we make in our younger years, which are not smart or good or mature. But, you know, I've always considered when I'm telling my story, should I feel embarrassed for the choices that I made in my 20s? You know, no. And I don't, because here in my 40s, I like who I am. And I think that if I undid any of those choices that I made, I wouldn't be who I am. Yeah. You know?
Oh, completely agree.
So after I put myself through nursing school as a single mom with the help of my mother, because, you know, could we do it without our mommies? I couldn't. She is, if I could grow up to be like anyone, it would be like my mom. I met my now husband. We were together we've been married only for 3 years, almost 4, but together for 10. Because I wasn't going to make the same mistakes that I had made in the past. And I was like, oh, I don't know, man. You know, could this be too good to be true? It wasn't too good to be true. He's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I am so grateful for the support. And, you know, I said, I'm going to go to nurse practitioner school. And he was like, oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. All right. And, just has, been my rock and my support, and he spoils me rotten. And
I love that.
Yeah. Like so good. Thickeningly spoiled. And even after 10 years, we're disgustingly obsessed with each other, and it's awesome. Yeah. And I didn't know that it could be like that. Yeah. You know?
No, 100%. I've been in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, yeah, I can be bougie. And he just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, oh, okay.
I love that. And I think it's such a good piece to share because, you know, a lot of individuals don't have the perfect little life that just executes just right as it's supposed to from 20 years old. You know, we all have our bumps in the road.
Yeah. Our online personas that only show the good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the highlight reel. The
highlight reel. Mm-hmm. And it's not, you know, years of, you know, battling and battling depression and battling, you know, to therapy to, you know, heal from trauma and, you know, breaking the cycle of abuse. Yeah. You know, my stepdad, we don't speak ill of the dead, abused us when we were children. Mm-hmm. And so the cycle of abuse just continued into my 20s. And it took a lot of therapy to kind of look back and say, how do I break that? Mm-hmm. You know, how do I be a cycle breaker? You know, and I didn't want that for my children, you know, for that to be the example. So, you know, I hope that I broke it soon enough, because unfortunately my oldest child, they had to grow up with me. Yeah. And you know,
mine did with me too as a young mom.
Yeah. And so I feel like, you know, that our older children get a different mom than our younger children do. Yeah. Because I'm definitely a different mom. I don't know. Maybe my oldest would say a better mom, that I'm a better mom to my youngest, but I know more now. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I didn't know. So, but I think that we just be open and honest, and hopefully somebody can look at the things that I've been through and be like, oh, well, if she did it, so can I. Yeah. Because if you would have looked at me 20 years ago, I was kind of a loser, making stupid choices, you know, and struggling. And now, you know, I have a career that I love. I have a family that is so awesome. And I almost don't know what to do with myself these days, because I'm like,
everything's right.
Where's the drama? Yeah. You know, how do I And how do you be okay with no drama?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple times that I'm like, am I just stirring up drama in my life? Like on purpose? Like, stop. Because I think, you know, when life is tumultuous for so long and you're fighting and clawing to get where you want to be, when you get there, it's almost like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Everything's so peaceful. And I don't know how to deal with that. And so learning to relax in the peace and, you know, has been, I feel like, I don't even know how to explain it. I could cry even just talking about it, you know, because the last several years have been the most peaceful years of my life, even though I've had to still work nurse practitioner school, you know, health struggles, whatever. It's been so great.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's amazing. I mean, when you say like break the cycle of abuse, sounds like you did.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, it is. You know, if someone were in a position that they've gone through the same thing, abuse, and they know that they want to break the cycle of abuse, what would be your advice to them?
Oh, great question. I mean, part of that is holding our own selves accountable for the choices that we make, because the partners that I chose, I think I was seeking out some drama because I didn't know anything other than drama and these high emotion relationships, right? That are constantly in turmoil. I didn't know how to find somebody that was peaceful. So I would say lean on your family and friends. Seek therapy for sure, because that's scary. And work through those traumas, talk about those. And honestly, I started looking for people, not just a relationship, you know, with someone I wanted to date or marry, but for people in general who I admired and respected, who were, you know, stable and steady, you know, seem to have a lot of drama with other people, seem to like be steady in their jobs, you know, someone that I was like, oh, I like that. What are the, you know, people who I thought I would emulate. Yeah. And really kind of changing that friend group even helped me to make different choices. And it brought other stable people, because I just really think you are who you spend time with. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I think that just giving yourself grace, because the shame and the guilt of staying in these relationships, of not knowing how to get out, you know, it's kind of that same thing with toxic jobs. You just get stuck. Yeah. And so at some point you sit on the bottom and you push yourself off, you know, and you just decide that it's going to be different. Yeah. I think that's great advice. And I love like the accountability. You know, I feel like we need to understand ourselves the most before we can really make a desirable decision executed. Yes. And so I love that piece. And it sounds like, you know, you've been very successful in this, and you've had to navigate this a few times. Yeah. And like you said, personal, career, all of this toxicity and abuse that I allowed. And figuring out why am I allowing this? What am I afraid of? You know, what part of that can I change? And that doesn't mean that I'm responsible for the people abusing me. Right. Right. That is on them. That is not something I have to carry. You know, that's not my fault. That's not my job. But I think that was part of it, was realizing that that's not something I have to carry. I'm allowed to give that forgiveness because it's for me. It's not for the other person. Exactly. And it allows yourself freedom. Yeah. To let it go. Yeah. I love that. To let it go. I don't have to hold it. So I think honestly, that's the thing that really did it the most, was just, nah.
Yeah.
I don't have to hold this.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have to keep making these same choices.
Yeah.
You know, I'm allowed to make a different choice. And I'm allowed to mess up and make a different choice again.
Yeah.
And again. And as many times as it takes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay.
Life.
Yeah. And it's okay. Because if we're not, you know, if you're not failing, you're not moving forward. If you're not failing, you're not trying, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I love that. Hey, I'm going to pause here for a moment. This episode is brought to you by myself, Lindsay Kaufman-Foreign with Coldwell Banker. I am your connection to Utah's luxury lifestyle. Whether you are looking for a modern architectural masterpiece in Salt Lake City or those sweeping valley views in Park City, a mountain retreat, maybe you want to ski in and ski out, I have helped plenty of clients find homes that feel like a reflection of their ambition and taste. From skyline penthouses and foothill estates to ski in, ski out, my focus is high-end service, refined design, and a personalized experience to make every transaction feel effortless. Because in Utah, luxury isn't about flash, it's about freedom, space, quality, and that lifestyle that comes with it. Are you ready to buy, sell, or invest in the Wasatch most exclusive properties? Connect with me, DM me, or you can email me, and that link will be here. Thanks so much. And then, so you got married.
I did.
And you have 2 children together? Or
Nope.
Tell me.
So my oldest is mine with my ex-husband, and my youngest is my husband's son with a previous relationship. His biological mom is not really in the picture. So he has just been with us full time. He's 16.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I've always just tried to make sure that since his mom's not really around much, that he feels like he's got a mom, you know, because I don't feel like I'm, you know, overstepping anyone's boundaries. She's not there to overstep her boundaries, you know, so he needs a mom.
Yeah.
And because every boy needs a mom.
Yeah.
And so I always told him that I might have grown Kai in my belly, but I grew you in my heart. And that's very special. Aww. And so I always say, oh, my heart baby, you know, because I did. I grew him in my heart, you know. And that relationship is really special to me because it wasn't just handed or expected, you know. He didn't have to accept me as his mom. We worked for that together, you know, to have that relationship. Yeah. And my relationship with my oldest is special because she's my oldest and because we grew up together. Yeah. Poor child. I just feel so bad for them. And my oldest is uses they, them pronouns, which I struggle with the pronouns, not because it bothers me that they are trans, but because it's hard to switch, how I talk. Yeah. And we were actually discussing that today. And they said, just make sure you just correct yourself and it's okay. So they're giving me a lot of grace to find my way with that. And it's been hard, again, not because I have a problem with their choice. I want them to be who makes them happy. That's a hard path. Yeah. You know, especially not to, you know, and I don't want to get too political on it, but it's a very politicized
thing right now.
Yeah. It's a very hot topic. And that scares me. Yeah. Because I don't want them to have a hard life, you know, as any mom wouldn't. But I love Kai. They are amazing and smart and artistic. They love to draw and paint. And I just feel like Kai knows who they are. And I love that. Yeah. So, you know, but who would want their child to go down a hard path, you know? Oh, yeah. I'm like, ooh, that sounds hard. How do I? And then learning how to help support them and making sure that I do the right things, which I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like that's raising kids in general.
Right. I'm like, who knows? Am I doing it right? I don't know. Yeah. We'll just try.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, I don't know. I've got older ones, I've got teens, I've got youngers, and you know,
yeah,
everybody has different paths and things that come against them or for them. And I feel like any child at the end of the day, you're just like, well, I hope I'm doing this right.
Yeah. Well, you might have to just pay for your own therapy.
Yeah.
But, and I did ask them if it was okay to talk about them today. And I was given permission. So, you know, because I was like, that's part of my life. And what made me who I am and the mother that I am is that, you know, I have a trans child who uses different pronouns, you know, and navigating that as a mother. And I don't want to upset anybody or, you know, I don't want to get into a political discussion about whether that's right or wrong or, you know, and I'm like, that's not my life to live.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My job as a mother, and this is kind of what this has taught me, is my job as a mother is to teach my kids good morals and values, how to be productive, functioning members of society as adults, and then pray for the best.
Yeah. No, 100%. I say the same damn thing.
You know?
Yeah.
And then hope they take my lessons to heart.
Yeah.
But they're going to be who they're going to be.
Yeah.
And I love them anyway.
Yeah.
Because I don't have strings on the love for my children.
No.
You know? There's not much that they could do. I'm not sure I could think of anything that they could do that would make me love them any less.
Yeah.
Do I sometimes not really like my kids? I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we want to get really mad at our children.
You know?
And do things to piss us off.
Yes. But that's what we say in our family. We might not always like each other, but we love each other.
Yeah.
We love each other every day. And so if I want them, you know, to be secure and stable, then I don't put strings on my love.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I love that. And I feel like kids should feel like they can go to their family and be who they are and show who they are. And no matter what that looks like, you know, and know that they're still cared and loved for no matter what.
Yeah. They like themselves.
Yeah.
They don't need to hide it.
Yeah.
And so what a great example of just, you know, being okay in our own skin.
Yeah.
And it took me till I was 40 to figure out how to do that.
No, it's true. Like, you know, and I can't even think like how difficult that would be, especially for how political, you know, that conversation is and that subject is right now. I'm looking back into, I was a teen mom, obviously. And, you know, the way I felt as a teen mom, especially living in Utah, and the grief that I got
and the stigma that comes with that,
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And questions, you know, throughout the church and things like that and other things. I mean, I know how I felt just, you know, at that moment. And how crappy it was that people would maybe not accept you, look at you a certain way.
Wouldn't want to be friends with you. Wouldn't want to date you. Oh,
all of it.
Yeah.
All of
because you were sinful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, what's the fucking difference? And why care?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Everybody has a different path in life. And I just feel like, you know, that's, you know, could we have maybe made different choices to have children young? Yes, probably. But, you know, but we didn't.
Yeah.
And so there doesn't need to be that judgment and that just support people where they are.
Yeah.
We need to meet people where they are. And it has been, as a mom, several times I've felt like people judged me or maybe I'm not a good mom. Oh, you have a trans child? You know, like, what did you do to them? Yeah. What have you done to them? And I'm like, nothing that I can think of, you know, there wasn't, you know. And I think they would tell you, and they've mentioned to me in the past that they always kind of knew that their gender was different and that their sexuality was different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they've told me that from a young age, they felt that way, you know? And so I'm like, we're all different. And, you know, and yeah, it's a hard topic. It's a hard topic, but, you know, the judgment of it is kind of the part that sickens me.
Yeah.
You know, it's because I'm like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You don't know, but like, what business is of yours?
Why does it matter?
Like, why does it
people
matter?
Fucking care?
Yeah,
that's what I don't.
And
understand.
why is it immediately that I was a bad mom?
Yeah,
if my child was trans, why is trans like that? Why is that?
Yeah,
the immediate correlation, you know, and that makes me sad. That makes me sad for other moms who maybe have, you know, children who are trans or, you know, LGBTQ plus, you know, and working to learn more about that. This is not anything I've ever had any experience with in my life. And being sure to be accepting and loving and learning, and that's all I can do as a mom is try to learn how best to support. Yeah. And just love them anyway. Yeah. You know, which not anyway, because that sounded terrible, but yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying. And I think it's really courageous of you to speak open and honestly about that, because I'm sure that there's a lot of parents.
Because we could have speed bumped that.
Yeah.
Easily. And just been like, oh yeah, I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a big part of my journey in my life, and learning how to support them. Yeah. You know? Because that's new. That's different. I don't know how to do that. I hope I'm doing a good job. You know?
Sounds like
without becoming, because I don't want to be on the political side of it. I don't want to talk, you know, I don't care about any of that, because this is about my daughter, my child. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So.
No, I think that makes sense. And I think it's eye-opening to hear this side of it without the political noise. Because it's all about love, support, and caring for people as who they are. Yeah. And like you said, our job as parents is to love and take care of our kids. Yep. And we don't cut our love strings, right?
At least for me. Yeah. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah. None of that matters to me. I'm, you know, like, I just want to be there. Yeah. And I just want to learn.
And I'm sure it helps your child live in a more happy space.
I hope so.
Because I can just imagine everything going on around that, the negativity, the feelings, all the political noise, it probably can really have a lot of damage on, especially
I would imagine,
kids' psyche.
Yeah, I would imagine. So I just try to be the safe space.
I love that.
That's, you know, no judgment. I don't want to talk about whether or not this is good or bad. Honestly, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Well, I mean, you know, there's so much, like, whatever, you know, you deal with different things raising your kids, you know, your kids' choices, bad choices, good choices. You know, I've had kids call me in the middle of the night because they got arrested and, you know, whatever. Yeah. Like,
I need a ride home.
Yes. Yeah. Or, you know, and my kids kind of backed each other up in high school. You know, one would go out partying, and I remember my son leaving the house at like, I don't know, 1:00 in the morning. And I called him, just, what are you doing?
Where are you going?
And he was like, Mom, just trust me. I have to leave the house. And he comes back with his sister who was at a party and picked her up, you know. But the point is that, like, raising kids, no matter what it is or whatever goes on, kids are going to be who they are.
And I hope they will be who they are.
Like, why do we dictate what they're going to be?
Yeah. And then just, as long as we're not hurting anyone else, why does it matter?
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
They are not hurting anyone by wanting to be who they are. They're not, so as long as we're not doing damage. Yeah. Who is it hurting? Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. Nobody. You know?
I love that.
Because we could, you know, take that to any choice that a child would make, you know?
Yeah, anything.
So, and again, it's not a choice. Yeah. That's who my child is.
Yeah.
So
So love them.
We just love them. Yeah. So
no, I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
So lots of fun times as a mom.
Yeah.
And then the 16-year-old he's just easy.
Yeah.
He just plays football. We're playing basketball right now. He has like a
he's your sports
3.9 GPA. He just got his driver's license. He goes to the gym with his buddies. As far as I know, they're not doing anything stupid. I mean, what do I know though? You know,
who knows?
Who knows? But I really think he's a good boy and he makes good choices and he's respectful and he's helpful and he's loving and he's kind. And he's been really easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? Just different kids,
all
their personalities. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, are you going to get hard? Please don't. But yeah.
Yeah.
But and he's a lot of fun. And it's just been a lot of fun to be in a different place in my life where I can go to all the football games and, you know.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I never thought I would be a football mom, but I love it.
It's my favorite thing.
I love it.
I actually miss my kids being in high school because, I mean, they played football, you know, all growing up. And then like high school, my son played football and my daughter was a cheerleader.
That's right.
And it was so fun. I miss it all the time.
Yeah. And there is that fun part of like having, you know, going and cheering them on and just, you know, watching the hard work and so
all that goes into it.
So that's the fun part of, you know, still having the one at home. And so, you know, 'cause my oldest has moved out and is doing their thing and, you know, so they're an adult and don't need mom as much anymore. And, you know, so I feel like I am like this poor kid. I'm like, what are you doing? Hello, you want to hang out with me? Like, if you go to the store with me and run errands, I'll buy you lunch. You know?
It's true though. It happens. I know.
Because I'm, you know, I'm like, I'm not ready to, you know, I'm like, I would keep my kids at home forever if I could, but you know,
I know it's weird when they're gone.
Yeah.
Sometimes when my older two come home, it just feels like whole again.
Yes.
And like, I don't know, my energy level's just different because everybody's together.
Yeah. It was so nice over Christmas because we had my oldest and their partner and my mom and my sisters and my brother and my nephew and my brother-in-law and, you know, and everybody was there. And it was just like, I just kind of sat there and was like, oh, see.
So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I love it.
So I feel like my entire life revolves around my family and my career.
Yeah.
And I like it that way.
Yeah. I love it.
So it's wonderful.
So it's exciting.
Yeah.
So with your clinic.
Yes.
Is it open now? Are you guys up and running?
We are up and running.
Okay.
And we are getting super busy. Most days we are not having open appointments. We haven't opened our schedule fully until we have a fully trained staff, which, you know, takes time. So we're kind of going slowly, but
yeah,
we're open. We're there.
Yeah.
We're running. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I love it.
That's good.
I do. I love it. So
where did you end up getting, going to school for your NP?
I went to Roseman University.
Okay.
So they have the nursing program here in Utah and then their NP program in Nevada.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would say that I recommend it. I don't know if we say that out loud though, but
so go to another round.
It might be a different school, but no, it taught me. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily all NP things, but I learned a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's
so yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
And I have heard a lot of individuals that have their RN that are thinking about getting their NP.
Yes.
Especially the younger group that are like going into nursing school. That's like the big goal.
Right. Is NP school.
Yes, is NP school.
Yep.
So what would your advice be to individuals that are either getting their RN or have their RN that are looking into that?
Oh, there's so much I could say about that. I'm trying to dig through and maybe, you know, pick the best 2 or 3. Cause that's a whole other, I could drone on for hours about do this, do that, try this, you know?
Yeah.
I think that the main thing is be prepared to make a lot of sacrifices. I did not work the last 6 months that I was in nurse practitioner school. It was just too much. Mm-hmm. I know several nurse practitioners who did, and it was hard. So I wouldn't recommend it. So save some money, be prepared that once you get into the clinical portion of it, that you probably don't want to try to do both. It's a lot. I would say that do it, follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people look at it and think, I don't know if I can,
Yeah.
Do it, make it happen. It was hard, but I don't want to, but that's okay. We can do hard things.
Yeah.
I actually was working nights, going to nurse practitioner school during the day, and ended up with some sleep deprivation psychosis during school.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, that was wild. Driving down the freeway, and was one night to my night shift after I had been at clinicals. I think I'd been awake for 4 or 5 days at that point with no more than maybe 2 hours a night. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll just crash my car. So I had to call and just say, oh, I don't think I'm okay. So make sure you take sleep. Make sure you prioritize sleep.
Yeah.
But that is, yeah. So, we just kind of, okay, we're going to make this happen. So bless my husband. He was like, yeah, I don't think you can do both. So quit your job. We'll make this work. So we were on a pretty tight budget for the first time in many years since I graduated nursing school. We were pretty comfortable financially. And so I kept working, and because I can do it all, Yeah. So I think that just prioritize yourself, prioritize sleep, be prepared to take some time off work if you have to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart to try to do both, but maybe you might be stronger than me. I couldn't do it. I probably could have. I decided I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to try to do both. It was too much.
Yeah.
So,
it is a lot.
Yeah. But it's just, and then, study a lot, set time aside. I think the best thing I did while I was in nurse practitioner school was I set a routine. Mm-hmm. I really did have a routine of the things I did. Before I went into clinicals anyway, it's just classroom work, more online stuff. And then you switch towards the end of your program to go to follow different doctors, PAs, nurse practitioners, whatever, to get that hands-on experience. Mm-hmm. But during the time that I just had the classwork, I went to work. I came home straight into workout clothes, did my exercise, and then I made dinner, and then I did my homework. And it was just a routine.
Yeah.
And because otherwise I think I would have procrastinated and not gotten the things done that I wanted to. And it was a great routine, and it worked out really well for me. So I think that's, for me anyway, I had to have that of like, this is what I do and when I do it, and then just following that. So I think, and that's the same thing I did when I was studying for my boards. Mm-hmm. I'm actually studying to become board certified in wound care now. Okay. I said I would never take another board certification test again, but here I am.
That is like a good certification.
Yeah. I should say I'm procrastinating studying.
Yeah.
So I keep coming up with reasons why I can't do that. But so, I'm like, oh wait, I'm giving advice on how to get through school, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's comes to mind that I'm supposed to be studying for these other boards. So I think I need a routine. Again.
Get your system.
So, but having systems in place, and then making connections and networking with PAs, doctors, other nurse practitioners, ASAP.
Yeah.
Because depending on the school that you go to, you may have to find your own clinical sites and your own provider to be your clinical instructor.
Yeah.
And that was rough.
Yeah.
I called in a lot of favors to make that happen.
Yeah.
So don't wait until it's coming up to like your clinical time once you get into school. Start making, start networking. I'm going to go to nurse practitioner school, start meeting people, networking, figuring out who's going to be your clinical instructor. Unless I think that the U of U and BYU might set you up with that.
Oh, okay.
So just as a thought.
Yeah.
But
no, that is good advice, because until like, or you get there, or maybe that's a good question that you ask schools that you're
when
looking
you're starting, do you provide a clinical site, or do I have to find my own?
Yeah.
Because finding one, I think most of us nurse practitioners would say that the schools we went to didn't. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
And finding our own
that is hard.
It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was working in pediatrics, right out of nurse practitioner school, I took so many students. I never not had a student.
Mm-hmm.
Once I had been practicing for long enough to take a student, because it was so hard to find somebody, especially pediatrics, that I just took student after student after student after student just to try to, because I was like, oh no, we got to help.
We got to help everybody.
We got to be the one. Yeah. So
that's cute.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if I can be a clinical site in wound care. I'm not sure actually. So, but I'd love to take students there too.
No, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, as this is the Salty Truth podcast.
Yes.
Krista, what is your salty truth?
I think I was thinking about this before I came, and I just really do think my salty truth is I say no.
I love it.
I say no. No, thank you. Because I feel like that's hard to do, and nobody wants you to tell them no. And so my salty truth is I say no. No, thank you.
No, thank you. You found your voice.
Rather not. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's scary to say no sometimes. And especially as women, we're people pleasers or trying to do it all right.
Yep.
Right? And there is a beauty in learning to say no.
And fit in and be liked.
Yeah.
And, make everyone feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And, and I'm like, no, nope. And if that makes me come off as a bitch, then, then I'm a bitch. I don't know what to tell you, but, but no, I'm not doing anything that affects my mental health. No.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm going to be depressed about it, or it's going to, it's going to harm me in any way. No.
Yeah.
No.
I love it. Good job.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, that's got to be the salty truth, right? Is that I say no.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Well, that's amazing. And I truly enjoyed having you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It didn't even feel like we were like recording.
I know.
I'm just like sitting here with a microphone in my hand, talking to my friend, catching up.
I know. We do need to go to lunch.
We do. Definitely.
One of our bougie lunches.
Please.
Yes. It's been a while.
It has been too long.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You're the best, actually.
And it's so good to see you.
And I've been looking forward to this for literally weeks.
Yes,
so,
me too.
So, because you're one of those people that I look up to and respect and admire, because I just want to be like you.
That's what we talked about when we started working together. It's so exciting. I'm like, this is amazing.
And I'm like, this is fun.
We're the same age. We get to like pull all this together.
We're the same people. Yeah. We both like fancy things.
Yeah. It worked out great.
It's perfect.
Okay. Well, amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Salties, that is a wrap up of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this was helpful. If this resonated with you, please comment. If you have your salty truth, send it on in. And if you have somebody that you feel like this episode could be helpful for, please send it to them. And if you're new here, welcome. We love you. Thanks, Salties, and I'll see you next time.